Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Myself, Aima Musin, roll number 39. We are going to discuss the topic of presentation is intelligence and cognition. Here are my group members, Linta, Mehek, Sajal and Ikra. Today I am going to explain the topic which is called intelligence. Before going to its details, let's understand intelligence in simple words. Intelligence is the ability to learn from experience, to solve problems, and to adapt to new situations. Intelligence is categorized in 8 types, named as logical mathematical intelligence, musical intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, linguistic intelligence, spatial intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, and bodily kinesthetic intelligence. First of all, we have to discuss logical mathematical intelligence. It is the ability to calculate, quantify, consider proportions and hypotheses, and carry out complete mathematical operations. People with this type of intelligence has the strength that they have excellent in problem solving skills, and their potential career choices are scientists, mathematicians, computer programmers, engineers, and accountants. Second, we have musical intelligence. It is the capacity to recognize, create, reproduce, and reflect on music as demonstrated by composers and musicians, etc. Their strength is that they have rich understanding of musical structures, rhymes, and notes. Their potential career choices are musicians, composers, singers, and musical teachers. Third, we have intrapersonal intelligence. It is the ability to understand oneself and one's thoughts and feelings and to use such knowledge in planning and direct. Their strengths are introspection and self reflection, and their potential career choices are philosopher, writer, theorist, and scientist. Fourth, we have interpersonal intelligence. It is the ability to understand, interact effectively with others. Their strengths are understanding and relating to other peoples. Their potential career choices are psychologist, philosopher, counselor, and salesperson. Now the fourth other types are explained by Linta Nasir.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Linta Nasir, roll number 38, and I am here to explain some other types of intelligence. So, the first is linguistic intelligence. It is the ability to think in words and to use language to express and appreciate complex meanings. Their strengths are words, language, and writing, and the potential career choices are writer, lawyer, and teacher. The next type is spatial intelligence. It is the ability to think in 3 dimensions. Core capacities include mental imagery, partial reasoning, and an active imagination. Their strengths are visual and spatial judgment, and if you are strong in visual spatial intelligence, good career choices for you are architect, artist, and engineer. The next type is naturalistic intelligence. It designates the human ability to discriminate among living things as well as sensitivity to other features of the natural world. Their strengths are finding patterns and relationship to nature. Their potential career choices are biologist, gardener, and farmer. And the last type is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. It is said to be good at body movement, performing actions, and physical control. Their strengths are physical movements and motion control. And if you are strong in body kinesthetic intelligence, good career choices for you are dancer, builder, and actor. As we have seen many types of intelligence, so there are also some methods through which we can measure intelligence. The one method is IQ test, but before explaining the IQ test, I will explain that what is IQ. IQ is a measure of intelligence that takes into an account a child's mental and chronological age. The formula by which we can calculate the IQ score is MA divided by CA multiplied by 100. Here MA is the mental age and CA is the chronological age. The IQ test is which measures the ability to solve problems reason logically, and use the vocabulary. IQ tests are strongly connected to the G factor, which means general intelligence. Now, the next topic will be explained by Mehak Maksud.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself Meg Maksood, and the topic of discussion is cognitive. What is cognitive? The process when the wheels of thinking are in motion, the result achieved through the perception, knowledge, and reasoning. Cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology is the scientific study of mental processes such as attention, language, use, memory, perception, problem solving, creativity, and the thinking. And the cognitive processes are as follows. The main focus of cognitive psychology is on the mental processes that affect the behavior. There are five mental processes such as attention, memory, perception, language, metacognition. First of all is attention. Attention, a state of focused awareness on the subset of the available perceptual interpretation. A key function of attention is to identify irrelevant data and filter it out, enabling significant data to the distributor to the other mental processes. जो हमारा ब्रेन है, हमारा माइंड है, एट अ टाइम मल्टीपल इन टाइप्स की इंफॉर्मेशन लेता है, लेकिन हम देखते हैं कि हमारे पास जो सी इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन होता है वो उसको कैरी करके उसको प्रोसीड करता है, बाकी इंफॉर्मेशन को वो छोड़ देता है. इस तरह अटेंशन की जो सी टू टाइप्स हैं, एक्सोजीनियस एंड एंड्रोजीनियस. जो एक्सोजीनियस है वर्क्स इन अ बॉटम अप मैनर and the endogenous works into top-down manner and the most reasonable for dividing the attention and conscious processes. Perception. Perception involves both the physical senses, sight, smell, hearing, taste, and proprioception, as well as the cognitive processes included in the as interpreting these senses. Current perspectives on perception within cognitive psychology tend to focus on particular ways in which human mind interprets stimuli for the senses and how these interpretations affect behavior. We we know that how people come to understand the world around them through the interpretation of stimuli. मीन्स कि कैसे हम जो उनसे अपने इर्द गिर्द के माहौल को हमारा एक स्टिमुलाई के रिएक्शन पे हम उसके ऊपर रिएक्ट करते हैं, इसको परसेप्शन कहा जाता है. एंड द नेक्स्ट वन इज memory. A human has three types of memory: sensory memory, short term, and long term memory. Sensory memory holds the sensory information, and the short term memory, in cognitive language, we are saying it working memory. Whenever we talk about the short term memory, we use the word working memory in the cognitive psychology. And there are long term memory, three types: procedural memory, semantic memory, and episodic memory. In procedural memory, it includes a particular task, for example, daily routine tasks, driving of a car, and the semantic memory includes the encyclopedic information that a person has. For example, Eiffel Towers look like that, and the name of the friend of the sixth grade. And the episodic memory is the deepest level of memory, which contains semantic memory and the short-term memory also. It includes the autobiographical events. It contains all memory in the temporal nature. And the next one is language. Cognitive psychology may study language acquisition, individual components of language formation like phenomena. Means कि हम अपनी language का इस्तेमाल कैसे करते हैं अपने mood और अपने related areas के behalf पे उनको देखते हुए. And the last one is metacognition. मेटाकोग्निशन का बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है हमारी कोग्निटिव साइकोलॉजी में, क्योंकि मेटाकोग्निशन a person understanding of their capabilities on particular mental tasks. It includes a person's the ability of apply cognitive strategies, how effective a person is at monitoring their own performance on a given task. It includes the self-regulations. It is most commonly used in the educational fields to increase the ability of the students' metacognition abilities to impact on their learning and the studies habits. Common phenomena related to metacognitions are here: deja vu, cryptomycenia, false fame effect, validity effect, and imagination inflection. The most commonly is used in the imagination inflection, in which we imagine कि जो काम नहीं हो सकता, वो जो काम अब तक नहीं हुआ वो हो सकता है, उसको हम किया जा सकता है. And the validity effects includes the statement seem more valid upon the repeated exposure. And the false fame effect includes non-famous names must be famous, can be famous. And the cryptomycenia includes that it is that generating thought, believing it is unique, but it is actually a memory of a past experience. And deja vu Deja vu, feeling of a repeated experience. It's all about from my side. Further is explained by Ikra Salim.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ikra Salim and roll number BCS 18026. Now I am going to explain the Pager's theory. Pager's theory covers how our thinking develops as we move from being a baby to being an adult. Because it covers the development of thinking, it is called the theory of cognitive development. Cognitive development has four stages. First, sensory motor stage, second, pre-operational stage, third, concrete operational stage, and fourth, formal operational stage. First, sensory motor stage, ages from birth to 2. In sensory motor stage, we develop through experiences and movement or five senses. Our brain wants to see, hear, smell, taste, and touch as much as possible. First, we start with simple reflexes, and soon after, we develop our habits. From fourth month old, we become aware of things beyond our body. And then, as we got older, we learn to do things intentionally. A key milestone is the development of working memory, or in Pager's term, or realization of object permanence. After that, I am going to discuss pre-operational stage. In this stage, the age of the child is from 2 to 7 years old. We learn to speak and understand words, images, and gestures are a symbol for something else. We love to play pretend, which allow us to experience something new and to learn a lot. At the age around 4, most of us become very curious and ask many questions. We want to know everything. Paget call it the initiative age because while we realize that we have a vast amount of knowledge. In this age, a child thinks that everyone looks this world as he looks, but everyone has his own point of view for this world. Third is concrete operational stage. The age varies in this stage is from 7 to 11. We finally discover logics and we develop concrete cognitive operations such as sorting objects in a certain order. We get the concept of conservation. We understand that if we pour orange juice from a normal glass to a taller glass, the amount of the juice stays same. But our younger sister picks the taller glass because she thinks that she'll get the more. Our brain learn to rearrange our thoughts to classify and build concrete operational mental structure. The last one is formal operation stage, the age of 12 and uh, up to 12 these people come in the formal operational stage. We become formally operational or advanced cognitive abilities allow us to understand abstract concepts such as success and failure, love and hate. We form deeper understanding of our own identity and our morality. We now also understand why people behave the way they behave, and as a result, we can become more compassionate. We make assumptions about events which have no relation with the reality. Some people start to see an imaginary audience watching them. Pages believe in lifelong learning, but he insisted that the formal operational stage is the final stage of all cognitive development. Thank you. This is all from my side. Then next will be explained by Sajal.
Assalamu alaikum, myself Sajad and roll number 41. As we are discussing the cognitive theory, some other cognitive theories are cognitive learning theory. As the name suggests, the cognitive learning theory focuses on thoughts. It's the theory that's all about understanding human thoughts and how the brain responds as people learn. Cognitive learning theory explains how internal and external factors influence an individual's mental process to supplement learning. For example, asking students to justify and explain their thinking, helping students to find new solutions to problems. Here are some advantages and disadvantages of cognitive learning theory. Advantages. It can enhance learning, it can boost confidence, it enhances comprehensions, it improves problem solving skills, it helps learn new things faster. The disadvantages. It refers to cognitive process that we cannot directly observe. It relies heavily on interface. It ignores other factors towards behavior that have been shown to affect behavior. This theory is broken down into two further cognitive theories. The first one is social cognitive theory and the second one is cognitive behavioral theory. Social cognitive theory. Let's see what this theory says. And what is this theory? It is the process of learning others' desirable and undesirable behaviors through observation. Social cognitive theory describes the influence of individual experiences, the actions of others, and environmental factors on individual health behavior. One of the major components of social cognitive theory is observational learning. Observational learning teaches people both positive and negative behaviors. For example, a manager within a company can teach the employees how they are supposed to behave ethically and be socially conscious when interacting and dealing with rude customers. Moreover, the manager can also train his or her employees on the different procedures that they can take in case of fire or other low probability scenarios. Here is another example that you can see people when people demonstrate the behavior of other people, they may be real persons such as our teachers, our peers, our supervisors, also known as fictional characters that influence an observer's behavior. The second one is cognitive behavioral theory. This theory mainly refers to our mental processes such as our thoughts and interpretations of life events. It explains how the thoughts, feelings, and behavior of a person interact with each other. Thoughts leads to particular emotions which in turn lead to specific behavioral responses. Let us an example of a developer who encounters a problem in a particular sphere and automatically believes that the task is difficult for him and her right away. The employee is automatically likely to have a negative attitude towards his particular task and his performance will likely be poor. Here are some another examples of cognitive behavioral theory you can see in this picture. Now, I am moving to the next topic, that is cognitive skills. There are 8 cognitive skills: sustained attention, response inhibition, speed of information processing, cognitive flexibility and control, multiple simultaneous attention, category formation, working memory, pattern recognition. This is all from our sides. Any question? Thank you.